Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks, and is it me, or are we getting a lot of live action adaptations recently? Not that they were uncommon before this, but it seems that we have been getting a lot more of them recently than what we got in the past. I remember back in the day when something was announced that it was going to get a live action adaptation and it would send shivers down people's spines, but nowadays people seem to be more open about these movies. Probably because a lot of them recently have been actually very good. However, there's one movie that falls into the category that I cannot believe is as good as it is, and that movie is the live-action Dora movie. Yep, you heard that right, and believe me, if you are shocked to hear that claim as you are right now, then trust me, you were not as shocked as people were when this movie first released, because when this was first announced, everybody scoffed at it. Nobody expected the live-action Dora movie to be good because, let's face it, how are you going to turn this not only into live action, but also into a movie? It just doesn't make sense. You might as well just get the College Humor guys to work on the project as a whole. The trailers and marketing also didn't help, as the movie just looked like a typical by-the-numbers jungle adventure film for kids, and most people responded with a resounding, "What the hell is this?" So they passed it off and didn't pay it any attention. Until it turned out that the movie was actually pretty good, as critics, legitimate film critics, saw the film and really liked it and said it was a solid family film for both kids and adults. It was better received than the live-action Lion King remake. What on earth is going on? And having seen the film, I can safely say that I was actually pleasantly surprised too. The movie's not that bad. It's not the next Paddington or anything, but I found it to be a solid little family film. The reason why this movie worked for me so well is the same reason why I think the live-action Scooby-Doo movies worked so well for me: the humor and the cast. The writer and director of this movie also collaborated on Muppets Most Wanted, and this could have been a project where they just phoned it in. Again, it's a live-action Dora movie. What do you expect here? But no, they brought the fun, energy, and humor in the Muppets Most Wanted into Dora, of all things, and it's actually pretty funny. The movie is self-aware, but it's not obnoxious about it. It's not like Minecraft, where it knows it's stupid and it really wants you to know that it knows it's stupid. There are a lot of jokes at Dora's expense, but she's not the butt of the joke. It's not really mean-spirited. It has a very positive tone, and they play with the tropes of Dora, but also make her sympathetic, and you want to root for her and see her succeed at the end. Basically what I'm saying is that this movie walked so Barbie could run, and Isabella Merced was perfectly cast as Dora. Honestly, she deserved an award for this role. She fully committed to being Dora, and her positive personality is so infectious. Again, you really want her to succeed at the end, and she does such a good job with the comedic bits and the sympathetic moments. And this movie is also very, very funny. I laughed a lot throughout this movie, way more than I thought it would, because the movie's not afraid to get weird with its humor. Again, it's very self-aware. It knows it's a live-action movie about Dora, and it's not afraid to get bizarre and strange with its humor. There's a scene in the middle of the movie where one of the characters has to take a dump, so Dora pulls out a shovel, starts digging a poop hole, and then sings about pooping. I know it sounds dumb and awful saying it right now, but it's executed very well, and it's actually really funny. There's another scene later on where the characters touch these flowers and they start to hallucinate themselves as the characters from the show, and that's really funny. Diego at the end of the movie starts singing about how he might have dysentery. A lot of the humor just worked for me, and the movie's very self-aware and isn't afraid to get really weird and absurd with the jokes. I also liked a lot of the characters in this movie. I've already talked about Dora, but again, it goes without saying, she's the highlight of the movie. Again, Isabella Merced played the role perfectly. I also liked her dynamic between this other girl who is pretty much her rival. She is like the straight A student, and so she sees Dora as her competition, and they have a good dynamic, and seeing them become friends throughout the movie was actually really sweet and leads to some funny moments throughout the movie. I also like seeing Dora try to reconnect with Diego throughout the film as they go on this adventure, even if the actor I found to be pretty stiff. I still found their relationship to be pretty sweet and wholesome, and Eugenio Derbez I found to actually be pretty funny because through the trailers, he just seemed like the most obnoxious and annoying character, just hamming it up for the sake of it. But he actually had a lot of the funniest moments in the movie. There's this other nerdy kid who accompanies them, and I honestly didn't get the reason why he was there. He did have some funny moments here and there, but I just found him to be kind of pointless, and I felt like they just needed another kid to balance the cast out. But he wasn't hateable or obnoxious or anything. Swiper's in the movie, and he's voiced by Benicio del Toro, which is just funny in and of itself. And they got Danny Trejo to voice Boots for literally one scene. It comes so out of left field and out of nowhere. It's just so funny, and the reasoning for it and what he's talking to Dora about is just so funny. I'm not gonna repeat it. Yeah, overall, it's a pretty solid, enjoyable, fun little family flick. There are some problems, though, that do hold it back, and that pretty much leads into the third act of the movie. I think that's just the weakest part of the movie. There's a big reveal involving Eugenio Derbez's character, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you think about it, especially considering how long he's been in the movie, and they treat it as a big reveal. But it's one of those things where you think about it, it completely falls apart. And throughout the third act, it focuses more on the jungle aspect of it, and it just becomes an Indiana Jones flick, but with Dora, which isn't really as interesting or as engaging as I think the filmmakers were hoping for. There are still some fun set pieces and funny jokes here and there, but that's where the movie started to sag, in my opinion. And the movie does contain the typical kiddie humor that was shown heavily throughout the trailers, like the pratfalls, the slapstick, and the really bad fart jokes. But hey, you know, they got a legitimately good poop joke in this movie, so at least there's that. But still, the childish, immature humor that's scattered here and there doesn't land for me, unfortunately. But still, I found this to be a really solid family flick. Color me surprised, but the live-action Dora movie was pretty good. There's a lot that works here, but honestly, I can see why it wasn't as big of an impact as it probably should have, because again, it is a live-action Dora movie. It came out in 2019. The show had ended long before the movie came out. It's going to be hard to get a lot of like grown adults to go and check out a live action Dora movie. And also, this was late summer 2019. Your family options were either the live action Dora movie or the live action Lion King movie. Need I say more? But hey, if you're curious and if I was able to convince you to go watch it, I'd say give it a watch. Again, it should not work nearly as well as it should, but it does. It's really funny, the characters are likable, and it's a pretty solid, fun little family flick. Again, color me surprised, but I quite enjoyed the live-action Dora movie, and I think many of you will too. And those were my thoughts on the live-action Dora the Explorer movie. What did you all think of it if you have seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.